Welcome everyone to San Antonio by Night Hurricane Season, Episode 2. Last we left off, our coterie members were doing some of the minutiae and some of the busy work involved in getting together a bunch of the influence that they have or will have in the city, as well as meeting with Urien, meeting with Lucio de la Rosa, a Nosferatu who is in charge of the coterie called the Unclaimed, the kindred who have not professed a loyalty to any particular baron, but have made themselves... They've decided to remain neutral in the affairs of other barons. And Benji, our lovely Bruja, ran into someone who was definitely not someone he ever wanted to see again. Benji, why don't you give us a little bit of thoughts on this new night as to how that went and what you plan to do about it?
Carnage. What's his name? He used to be my sire. I can't even express my anger about it. I wish... Let's just put it like this. If I could have it my way, he wouldn't be wandering around the city like it's no one's fucking problem. Regarding what I'm doing about it, fortunately, Urien's right. I can't go antagonizing him right now. It wouldn't be useful. But there is... Oh, there is a Sabbat I do want to attack. I'm still looking for John. Tonight I plan to meet with Batista about it. I imagine there's not a lot she herself could necessarily tell me, but she'll definitely give me a head start at the very least. Other than that, I got nothing.
Well, we'll certainly see what Baron Batista has to say in regards to John. But I suppose there have been a couple of others who have been doing some busy work as well. Amber, why don't you give us some thoughts here?
Thoughts. Thoughts. Well, this first phase of Operation Funnel People is, I would say, going relatively well, all things considered. We've gotten in contact with the right people, dropped the right notes, and now I just need to see if they're willing to play ball. I think maybe that it would be the easiest way to play, truly. Getting that all set up so that I have a little part of the board that I can then control to start doing other things. Start concatenating everything together. Start slowly and surely knocking everything over one part at a time, because, well, I mean, I'm providing people to everybody. Not an easy task, truly. Not an easy task. Especially with things beginning to ratchet up as they are. People are beginning to clam up, and I'm worried that I'm going to get locked out of the building before I can get in on the ground floor. Luckily, I've got a plan in mind to sort that out. I'm gonna need to go talk to someone. I'm sure she'll be willing to help.
Here's hoping. Velda, you've been working on a little bit of a side project. Your Elysium, as you would call it, has not really needed anything in the way of remodeling, and it's got the barest of furniture, folding chairs and a card table. So it's functional, should you want to start using it, but you don't have a way of securing the place and promising the safety of every kindred to and from. How do you plan to achieve that?
Still coming up with a way to do that. Honestly, though, right now, the Camarilla is quite the big threat. So recently I've been flitting around where I live, trying to get that sorted out. But where the Elysium is concerned, I guess I'll scouting. See if I can't find some decent talent. Maybe Benji will be willing to help. He knows that kind of type, doesn't he?
One would think. Being a Brujah, he might know other Brujah, but that seems rather presumptive.
Rather.
Who knows? And then there's Urien, who came across an interesting little factoid in his talks with Lucio de la Rosa. What do you plan to do with the ley lines of the city?
Well, first, it implies that I have control over such a gift of the city. Right now, I need to end up knowing what they're capable of. To do so, I need to end up having first-hand study. At this point, I've reached out to my child, Carlos, as this may be a grand learning opportunity for him. Truth is that I've never been much of a Tremere. I think at this point, it might do my child some benefit at the very least to end up giving him more experience with his own kind. So I've asked Clovis to end up joining. We'll be investigating a few sites I would suspect might end up holding ley lines. Spirits, ghosts, the fallen, tend to gather around them according to the discussion that we ended up having with the wonderful Lucio de la Rosa. I'm not sure on how much I can trust him, but at the very least his conversation is pleasant and brings back memories of old. But such pleasantries are not to be indulged so fervently. Right now I need to know the position of the ley lines. My suspicions, first in the Alamo, and then a fear that perhaps one might be found near the airport, which has been commandeered by Camarilla agents. They can't do much out in the open, it's true. But nevertheless, if it is upon the point of these ley lines, that gives the Camarilla an edge that I do not know enough about to quantify. That is dangerous. There's many fronts we can take this to. Benji takes it to the streets. Amber takes it to the Kain. Velda takes it to the kindred. I have to end up weaving a tapestry to bring it all together. And I intend to use the weight lines as a stitching to bind it.
Certainly an interesting task. We'll have to see how that goes. For the moment, we are going to follow Urien after doing some of the mundane housework of the day. The coterie is about doing their own things, and I would like all of you to make a rouse check for the evening. Velda and Urien, your stomachs grumble. Possibly just a little noise in the back of your head. Possibly louder than that tonight. But that hunger is distracting you. That ever-constant voice saying, "Feed me." But for Amber and Benji, it's still where you left it. It's maybe a dull roar. Only occasionally interrupts your thoughts. So, Urien, you've spent a good maybe hour that you've been awake doing some of the mundane things around the domain, but have finally found the time to head towards downtown. Carlos, having joined you from Club Lush, and Clovis joining you at the Alamo in the parking lot. The three of you are kind of looking on to the building and the surrounding area, having done all of the pleasantries, and where do you go from here?
And so that is why we are here, Clovis. See if we can end up discovering a ley line somewhere amongst the Alamo.
I see.
Spirits gather, and they are bound in this place. I imagine, while the events have something to do with it, I think the amount that have not been able to move on might be a sign of the way line.
That's a certainly interesting theory.
Yes, but I fear this is beyond my point of study. And
Yes.
as the more experienced of the three here, I would endeavor to end up using your knowledge and expertise. Carlos here will be presenting as our bodyguard for the... And I hope that he'll be able to keep an ear out and learn as he listens in upon his elders. After all, there is no chantry for him to learn, and so we must endeavor to teach with our own hands.
Well, that does bring me to an interesting thing that I've been thinking about as of late, with there being now three of us. something akin to a chantry, nothing so strict. But something for each of us to have questions and come to each other for. Maybe set up some kind of teaching institution of some kind.
I would not be beyond such things. And were the city to find itself more stabilized, that our tasks would be more mundane, I believe that after I have relinquished my position, once the threat has been removed, I think that should be a fitting request. A fairer payment for services, right? Does this sound adequate to you, dear Clovis?
Absolutely. Been wishing that other Tremere would find this city interesting and want to study it as well.
Fantastic.
I had been the only one for quite a while.
To my experience, there are not enough Tremere that find themselves amongst our circles, specifically because of the fall of Vienna. Though I was not there, so I cannot end up commenting on how things were before. They speak about it in hushed whispers, often with reverence, until I remind myself on what cities, I should say, I find chantries in. Remember, Carlos, you are a wizard. He does the weird movement of his hands like, ooh.
Carlos just laughs at you. Like Harry Potter, right?
Who? No one's explained that one to me.
It's a movie. I told
What's
you before.
What's a movie?
Really?
He looks at Clovis and smiles.
Really? Are you that out of touch?
No. I have certainly seen the pictures.
I didn't think so.
You'll come to find that there are many fascinating things that will change over time. And on occasion it might make you curious enough to come out of your hole and go and explore the world to see how it changes. Still, that is a discussion for another time.
Right.
Clovis, my
Yes.
theory, does it hold merit?
It certainly does. Things of all kinds of supernatural are often drawn to high concentrations of energy. And it would make sense that, without really knowing what they were doing, that people would establish something of minor significance during the day, but would come to be very important later on. Without knowing it, we're drawn to such a thing as well.
I will endeavor to remind myself now, where would we start looking in such a place? I'm sure you have come to study the ghosts and spirits.
Yes.
And it's at this point I would mention that me and Carlos are both warded against spirits right now.
Perfect.
If you'll remember, I've already made the cast, we just haven't had an encounter where the roll was necessary.
Perfect. So, Clovis kind of looks around. You get the sense that maybe he's looking for the unseen. Well, these
and
things...
I will join him.
Okay. And you open your eyes to the unseen as well, and just like you did before, you see apparitions kind of floating around the building, kind of walking the street. Some of them are just repeating images, others are like the one you saw before, maybe wandering of their own volition and don't blink out or anything. There's fragments of energy that you see that you suspect might be pieces of long old spirits. There's lots of that. Just kind of hovering around the building and giving to your supernatural eyes a bit of a haze to the whole area. And Clovis kind of looks around. Well, these things, from my experience anyway, or at least what I've read, tend to be subterranean. There's key points where it comes closer to the surface, but kind of snakes its way through the Earth's crust. And this, I would imagine, is such a place where
it comes close to the surface.
Yes.
So, Carlos, you've been in the city longer than I have, as I understand it.
Born and raised
so
here.
Would you happen to know of any subterranean tunnels or anything of the like?
Under the Alamo? Access to that is rather restricted. Like even the manhole covers are locked down tight.
Do not worry about that.
If we wanted to get under the streets, then that's where we would go, I suppose. Start in the sewer system and see where it goes.
Very well, then Carlos, lead the way. Clovis, I apologize ahead of time for the ruining of your fine vestments.
That's quite alright. I half suspected that. And so Carlos begins to walk you through to the nearest manhole that he could see, and kind of looks to you both and says, "Do we just lift it?" I don't think that it's going to be a very light thing.
Perhaps not.
And so he kind of goes to lift it. And does so with very little effort. Seems to break a lock. Yeah, that's a thing.
You forget that you're no longer amongst the living, Carlos. Those rules don't apply to you.
Yeah, it kind of broke it. Oops.
Ah, well. He kind of ends up starting to make his way down below.
Alright. And so, you make your way into the sewer tunnels. They're fairly tall, for the most part. Looks like some of it is accessible, at least under the downtown portion. There's a lot of accessibility to the tunnels, or to the sewer systems, that they don't just consist of small pipes leading from the sanitation plants.
Of course not.
and Carlos and Clovis follow in after you.
Now, where would I start looking down here for way lines?
Clovis just kind of looks to you. Well, I haven't been in the city long enough to find them, actually.
How long have you been in this city, Clovis?
10 years.
Amusing. Congratulations, Carlos. You have more claim to this city than either of us.
I don't know about that.
I'm going to end up going about, and I'm going to use a wits occult just to see if I can start wandering in a direction where it's like, okay, well, if we're more likely to run into it, maybe more spirits are in this section, or maybe it's a case of this area goes deeper.
Okay. A wits occult, and add your auspex.
7.
All right. So, by letting yourself kind of get used to the direction in which spirits are drifting, or the things that you see, the haze that your eyes are allowing you to see, it's darker down here, but that supernatural haze doesn't seem to be affected by the darkness that these tunnels are. They're not illuminated, and so you allow yourself to kind of wander and drift with this haze, and you find yourself walking for quite a distance, and there's not really there's fragments of spiritual energy. There's nothing fully formed, but the deeper into the sewer system that you go, the more densely populated or dense the haze gets with these fragments, and you feel like you might be getting closer. And you continue along for maybe an hour, walking at a slower pace, and something just kind of almost supernaturally tugs on your eyes, and you look in that direction, and all you see before you is a sewer wall.
I begin placing my hand upon it and start to put a little bit of pressure on it, trying to assess the brickwork.
The bricks are well made. They're sturdy, but definitely old and cold to the touch.
Do you see it, Clovis?
This haze is getting pretty dense, yes.
No, the wall. He taps it.
Yes, I think so.
Now, I'm just double checking something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. There's the page.
Urien, you notice in your own thoughts that as hungry as you are, the voice is calmer.
A wicked smile ends up crossing his face. I believe this is where we need to be.
Right here?
Yes. Feel you inside, Carlos. That instinct, it is suppressed. That is a reason that the way line, or the ley lines may be so valued. Suppressed hunger. Suppressed need. Mastery over the world, you must first master yourself, and anything that will allow you to do so is a great benefit. I am going to use corrosive vitae. And I am going to cut out a chunk of mortar from between the bricks so we can make a hole in the wall where I feel it's most likely going to end up getting us closer to the way line. See if there is something behind this wall.
Then go ahead and roll a rouse for your corrosive vitae.
Okay, and I get a reroll on that? Nope, I still end up getting 1 hunger. Damn it.
You're still feeling pretty hungry, but it feels a little less noisy, but you feel that calming effect. It's a dull calming effect, but it's noticeable. And so you start to you take what kind of implement are you using? Are you just biting into your wrist and spilling it on it?
No, I am slashing my thumb and dragging it between the bricks.
Dragging it between the mortar. Okay. And so you trace your thumb over all of the mortar between the bricks and do so in a very large kind of chunk that and quickly your vitae works at the mortar and the bricks like acid, that they start to it's the bricks and mortar start to crumble away a little bit to dust, and you hear a voice coming down this way. What in the fuck do you think you're doing?
Now there is an individual here that I have not ended up hearing of. I turn to meet the voice.
I take it that somebody gave you permission to be down here?
I believe it is your introduction first.
The name's Bernardo Chavez.
Mr. Chavez. Bernardo Chavez. Trying to remind myself. Sorry, so many names to end up keeping track of.
You know this to be Lucio's child, the one he mentioned.
Yes, you're Lucio's boy.
Sure, if that's how you want to say it. But yeah.
Child, I did not mean it as a point of disrespect. No, I do not have permission to be down here, nor do I require it given the circumstance.
I
Tell
understand
me, Bernardo.
circumstances, but still need permission.
You are aware I have had discussions with your cider as of recent, yes?
I have.
Bernardo, allow me to introduce Clovis and Carlos, if you have not already made their acquaintances.
Pleasure to meet you both. And Clovis and Carlos both nod. Carlos looks like he's legitimately freaked out a little bit.
Carlos, this may be one of the few encounters you've had with the true Nosferatu.
Yeah, I didn't expect that they all looked like that.
Yes, well, they all have their own unique flavors. The important thing to know is that he is quite capable of snapping your neck and tearing your head clear off if he so chose. And
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong.
yes. But there's also the problem of, right now, it was your own cider who put me down here. See, he made mention of something, and I have this sneaking suspicion that you already know what's going to happen. I shift the bricks, pulling closer into me, like I'm going to collapse the wall at any moment. What I'm going to find if I pull this down.
Well, you're close.
So,
Do you know where we are?
just near, not too far away from the Alamo.
Exactly.
I have a sneaking suspicion, and Bernardo, perhaps you can testify, that the Alamo, in fact, was originally built here because of the weight line, though the builders may not know that's what threw them here.
Yeah, somebody was cockeyed and foolish enough to put a little mission on top of the soil over this location, and kind of was out in the middle of nowhere, if you get my drift. And then the city built up around it.
Yes. And I know that this is one of the reasons the Camarilla will be coming here in force. I have to study it and know exactly what it is it's capable of. Because I have another location this evening, and if I find what I think I'm going to find there, then the Camarilla have already started tapping into something that is a secret that belongs solely to San Antonio. Which I don't believe would benefit either of us. Would that be correct?
That's true. That's very, very true.
So, given that it was your sire who ended up sending me down here, as indirect as he can be, he would not have brought it up if he did not suspect I would investigate. In fact, perhaps you are here at his request, because he was hoping to confirm his suspicions on whether I would take the bait.
I've heard stories about you being clever. I figured I'd join you, since you might need an escort.
How kind of you. So you do
wouldn't
know
want you
who I
getting
am.
lost in these very maze-like sewers.
Or finding something I'm not supposed to see.
You know.
That is fine. You're free to have your own secrets if they do not disturb the nature of San Antonio, by all means. No tyrant. I am simply here to discover. So,
Fair
you
enough.
said close enough. He kind of allows the wall to start pulling out the bricks that you can see what's behind the wall.
The bricks and the surrounding dirt and everything kind of melt away a little bit, and Bernardo kind of looks like he's not sure what to make of it, that he's never seen brick and dirt melt away quite like that.
I guess the fair assessment here, Bernardo, as well, you could tear my head clean off. I can also reduce you to slag, so let's just acknowledge that we are both in precarious circumstances and try not to have things escalate.
Great. I'm just watching.
So, what do I find behind the wall?
You definitely find more dirt, but as you reach your hand closer into the hole that you've cut out using your Vitae, you feel like the energy is stronger in that direction. It might not be exactly behind the wall, but it might be a little bit deeper in.
Tell me, Bernardo, is there something on the other side here that I should be aware of?
Probably the most surface side that you're gonna get when it comes to that energy.
How would I get
on
there?
Building that.
Well, to be fair, workers will be down here at some point, and old brick and mortar has a tendency to collapse. Erosion and acid burns look so similar, don't you agree?
I suppose so. But yeah, it's deeper in that way.
Then by all means, lead the way.
And he begins to shovel some dirt out of the way. And you see that he's probably doing it about as average as perhaps you would. But he digs through, and he seems to make it in a very cylindrical fashion. He's taking great care to make sure that it doesn't collapse in on itself. And when you kind of reach in a little closer as well, it's definitely fairly strong beyond a little bit more dirt. And Bernardo says, if you touch it, then you're probably going to have some bad things happen.
It may be worth the risk. Though that does make me curious, Bernardo. To my understanding, it is not common for Nosferatu to have the gift of sight. And yet, this would be a trait that you and your sire both share.
I've just been told where it is.
So you're digging blind.
Yeah.
Continue.
He kind of looks like he's measuring the depth a little bit with his eyes. And we'll go much further, and somebody's gonna hit it. I'm fairly certain of that. At least what I've been told.
Very well. Then I will do so.
Suit yourself.
Well, it is worth the risk, and I need to know exactly what it is we are encountering. I climb my way into the hole and start to dig. My own strength and athleticism is maybe questionable, but I try to do my best to emulate Bernardo.
And you dig a little further, probably another 5 feet, and as you go to reach into the dirt and stone, or into the dirt and through this wall, your finger hits something. It gives you an immense shock. I would like you to take 1 point of superficial damage. Told you.
It's quite alright. I grab hold of a brick and I start brushing away what is close by, so I do not incidentally touch it. And I observe it. I observe the wound, if there is one.
It seems like the end of your finger is a bit charred, but it felt more like an intense electrocution and headache. And that was just your finger brushing up against it. Imagine if you were to just take hold of it with your whole hand.
I am going to guess that is one of the first things Mr. De La Rosa had encountered when finding his own portion of the way line.
Yeah, it's pretty common, I think. Dizzy spells, electric shock kind of feel. Like you're touching a power line or some shit.
That can be confirmed. I observe it and I ask Clovis to take a look in. Carlos, now would be a perfect point to educate yourself on how to approach those of the Nosferatu variety. Consider it a social lesson.
Okay.
Do not be kind, Bernardo. Few of us get the privilege.
Ooh, you're a newbie, huh? Carlos just kind of side-eyes him. I'm gonna have fun with this. And Clovis kind of crawls into the space that's been carved and melted out, and kind of sidles up next to you. Fascinating.
I'm going to continue to pull in what research I can, pulling out a book. It's blank. I have no frame of reference. I am simply taking down notes, the experience of what it's like to have touched it. A very bad sketch, I imagine, of my own burnt fingertips, allowing Carlo or Clovis to see them.
Huh. Very interesting. I don't think I've been this close to one.
There's definitely power, but much like lightning, the question is how does one harness it?
That's entirely fair.
And if we do not get upon it, I can most assuredly tell you that, Jacques will also take advantage of it. And Mr. Plenty is far more aggressive in such studies, I imagine.
I'm sorry, who?
My sire.
Ah. don't think you'd ever shared with me what your sire's name was.
Yes, well, you will come to know him soon enough. I just heard that he's in the city.
Interesting.
To be fair, he did always ask me to return to the tower, return to my studies. If I had any question, he would be the one that would share an interest in this. I do not believe it is a major concern for Kyle, but for Jacques, if he can find a way to bend this to his advantage, then, well, we would literally be battling San Antonio itself.
Yes, that would be unfortunate indeed. This is our city, after all.
I can also confirm that wards against spirits seem to do very little.
In what regard?
He gestures to his clothing.
Ah. Yes, wards tend to, in my experience, detect the malicious intent.
Perhaps, but nevertheless...
Something like this is natural. There's no malicious intent behind it.
Perhaps. But, nevertheless, it is a point of, I suppose, scientific merit to know that it does not.
That's quite fair.
And I believe it's at this point Urien and Clovis would start discussing theory and poking and prodding at it in all the various ways they can with the tools they have available, or trying to figure out what tools they might need later on to continue their study.
And Bernardo and Carlos are getting to know each other. Bernardo belting out a huge laugh occasionally. But the two of them seem to be getting on. Or at least Carlos isn't really making a physical notice that he's bothered by Bernardo's berating.
That's a start. Okay.
And so you and Clovis spend... About how long do you spend studying this before you decide to leave?
Until we are spent. Until there's nothing more that we can gain at this exact measure.
And with the tools available to you, that isn't very long, because you didn't necessarily bring anything specific.
Wouldn't know what to bring if we did.
Clovis makes a couple of notes about some things he might want to try that he has at his disposal, but otherwise it's a come back next time kind of venture after about half an hour.
Any rolls or anything like that you require?
To figure out what you're going to need in the future, I would like you to make an intelligence occult.
Very well. Any modifiers given Clovis's proximity?
+1 for his assistance. Okay.
I'm going to willpower the one roll.
Okay.
Hail Mary 10.
No. You figure you're gonna have to work something up that your own supply stock when it comes to the occult is rather limited. Clovis does mention that he has a couple of things that he could possibly donate to the venture, and that the next time you want to come down, he'll bring whatever tools he needs.
Fantastic. We need to end up assessing this. There's one more stop we need to end up making. I'd like to end up investigating the airport to see if there's any hints of potential lying there. We know that it is Camarilla territory, but that I do not think that they will want to cause much of a ruckus in, well, so crowded an area, especially if they want to bring anyone in.
Bernardo.
Besides, they are... Go on.
Bernardo kind of pipes up. You think that there's ley lines out by the airport?
It is a possibility I would like to be made certain of. If they do not, then we can count our blessings. If they do, then they may have a specialist who is capable of understanding these things. Either way, it cannot remain an unknown.
So far as I know, the only other line that comes this far up surface side is in Uptown.
In Uptown. In Uptown. Think about this for a moment.
You would know that to be Ashley Sanderson's domain.
Oh, that son of a bitch. Then, unfortunately, we have a problem. Do you know of its exact location?
No. I only know of this one is because, I prowl around here.
Yes. I also imagined that there is a third.
A third?
Yes.
Where do you think?
Right near your Cider's Haven.
Well, that's a good thing nobody knows about that one, huh?
And I think we should end up keeping it as such. Wouldn't you agree, Clovis?
Certainly.
Yes. And in order to maintain such a secret, I believe the secrets of the way lines themselves and our investigation should remain as such. Wouldn't you agree, Bernardo?
Certainly. We planning on covering this up?
For now. At this point, Urien kicks some of the loose dirt into the stream that we wash down. He helps place the bricks without the mortar in place. I am sure, Bernardo, you would do us the courtesy of hiding this little entrance for further study, to make it more convenient for the next go-around. Would that be considered inappropriate?
Not at all.
Let it never be said that the unclaimed do not end up having a very gracious nature.
We're very gracious, seeing as this is important to the Camarilla fucking off.
I will remember this, Bernardo. And when it comes time, I hope that we will meet under more pleasant circumstances.
I look forward to it. Your little team's been getting together in Elysium, right?
That would be correct.
Maybe
Where
I'll
I
see you
and the
there.
other parents will be holding court.
Well, maybe I'll see you there.
Bernardo.
Hmm.
Sir. I give your sire the grace to end up referring to me by my first name, as I have respect for his age and wisdom. Though, perhaps it would do well for you to do the same, to acknowledge such things. If only for pleasantry's sake, as practice for Elysium. I would like to end up keeping on good terms, and I would hate for a slight to be making spoil of the night.
Certainly, Baron Urien Doyle.
Bernardo, child of the Rose. Well, let us leave and get to it, and I'm sure your sire will be very interested to know about our little theory. I am glad you have saved us a trip. We have other things in the better need to end up attending to, but we will be returning shortly. Is there anything you and the Unclaimed require?
Just that we can keep all of this under wraps. Because, like you said, the Camarilla get their hands on this kind of thing, they are going to be one tough cookie.
So all of the ley lines are found in the northern part of the city.
Well, we're in downtown right now, Batista's domain.
Fair. But I'll not let her know that your involvement was with the ley lines. Of course, if the Baronese ask about the ley lines, there's only so much I can hide. I have to maintain some transparency for the betterment of the city.
Of course. Just don't be forthcoming about it.
There's two ley lines that are my sole concern, as the third is well guarded, hidden, and is of no benefit to anyone if its knowledge gets out. Though, should worse comes to worse, I hope that your sire will end up offering a further, how should I put this, chance for discussion, sitting down and drinking tea.
Well, should you need to get a hold of us again, you know how to contact Tanisha.
Yes. Yes, I do. And give Tanisha my best regards. I do, in fact, miss her presence.
See you at Elysium.
And to you.
He begins to walk off.
You start heading topside. Oh. And I gotta answer a door. Be right back.
Alright. With that, Urien, Clovis, and Carlos begin to make their way back up to the manhole cover that they removed. Takes about another, at a faster pace, takes about 15-20 minutes, and climb their way out and go about the rest of the day.
Alright.
So you are now topside.
So, Carlos, have you learned anything about the other things that lurk in this city?
That there are quite a number of things that are really weird to look at.
Oh, there's enough to fill whole mausoleums.
Whole mausoleums. Ugh, why does that give me a shiver?
Well, this is part of the educational process. Starting to find little pieces. Starting to develop the understanding of what is below, what is just behind the surface. This is where many would claim that Tremir's true power lies. Not all of us, however, are cut out for such things.
Yeah, I don't know that I am.
Do not dismiss it so early, lest you
Well,
forego using a talent you have not discovered.
well, we'll see. You can be great at things and not so great at other things, but practice makes perfect, I guess.
Well, Clovis, what is your take of my dear Carlos?
I think he has a lot of potential.
Coming from Clovis, that is high praise indeed. You are being judged by an aged scholar who has had several lifetimes to be able to be of study.
Well, let's hope I get that chance, right?
You can hope all you want. I'd rather make it happen.
Well, yeah, there's that. But, kind of running into dangerous territory, aren't we?
That is the nature of the business.
Oh, goody. It's like going into a rival seller's territory. You don't know if you're gonna get capped.
You assume you will, and prepare for it. Even Clovis here, as timid as he may seem, I am certain is capable of, well, very useful items, and the worst of it.
I've been known to hold my own a little bit.
After all, what hopes do you have when we can melt flesh, or cause the blood to boil and seep out through every orifice?
Love it. Carlos just quirks an eyebrow at you.
Our sorceries are that of blood. Wherever there is blood, you have power. And you can master it. First that which is in your veins, and then that which is in those around you.
Hot damn.
You remember that trick that I shown you? To speak and make willed.
Right.
I believe that amongst Tremere it is unique, because it is not that of a mind that goes, but it is in fact the blood itself that moves to our whim.
That's intense.
It is a theory, but one I would love to begin study upon.
Right.
I would believe that while the powers may be in similar nature to those of a clan Ventru, I believe it operates radically differently. Its details.
Well, let's get going then. And for now, we're going to leave Urien, Clovis, and Carlos behind and catch up with another group of individuals. Our lovely Toreadors and Bruja together. Three of you are together as you're wandering the streets, going about your business. Where are you going first?
Well, the first stop of the night would have been to go and meet up with Velda, as she was most likely off doing whatever it is that Velda does as part of her daily routine. And considering it's a Wednesday, one of my first things would have been to, I suppose, drag Benji to a church meeting, which I'm sure he most likely wouldn't have enjoyed all that much. But it would be put to him thus that it's very important for making contacts. This is where the magic is going to happen, because the current operation is just one facet of it. We still need to get people to Isabella, we still need to get people to Randy and Alphonse, and we still need to get people to Damien.
And you've been doing your mingling, and this is after which you engaged in small talk. You got some names. You have some people's phone numbers even, and one of them seems to want to date you, Amber.
I know. It's a shame that I'm taken.
Shame that.
But no, it would be right now that we go and meet up with Velda. I think she deserves to be let in on what's going on, and to get her in on this, because I think she might be rather interested.
And the three of you have indeed met up.
Velda, darling.
Yes, Amber. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you, myself, and Benji could have a little chat.
Oh, really? And here I was thinking that you'd all forgotten about me.
Well, I mean, you are pretty unforgettable. Wouldn't you say, Benji?
Benji just glances at Velda. Glances
Velda
back.
gives him a wink.
Ugh. No, not forgettable, though I wish you were.
Oh my, that's feisty.
I'm hurt, Benji.
You tried to flirt with me when I was missing half my guts.
Flirting is such a strong word.
You just see him wince, his eyes closing in like, ugh, no.
Is there something daunting about the prospect of being tag teamed by two beautiful women, Benji?
Don't say it like that, that's weird.
I certainly wouldn't say no.
I'm truly, Benji. I am pulling your leg. Your reactions are absolutely wonderful.
Very cute.
Can we get along with this? All right? Yeah. All right.
But you needed me for something?
Yeah, I wanted to get you in on the ground floor with a little project that I've been working on. Something that I think might interest you.
Go on.
For you see, I've decided to repent and start going to church.
Oh, really?
You can tell with the way that she says it that she's being facetious.
Okay.
No, the point is that I'm using Viewer's former domain as a people funnel.
That would make sense, considering using the church. Churches are generally fairly sociable places.
I've made it a habit to integrate their Wednesday night meetings into my daily routine. Very good place to meet people, but I'm using this as a ground floor to start fishing people places. And Benji, well, he and I, because this was a team effort, had thought to get a hold of some of his criminal contacts to start fishing some low-level people up into the big leagues to help Clovis keep an eye on the smuggling routes in and out of the city.
Wonderful. So what does this have to do with me?
What this has to do with you is that I want to get you in on the ground floor. I'm sure you're also in need of people, yes?
I'm in need of people to watch Elysium.
Well, I get you in on this project. And you might just find your kindred to watch over Elysium for you, because there's no way that the kind could do it.
That's true. All right. So what needs to be done?
Currently, we need to go and check a dead drop location to see if the note that I had left had been found. Thanking Clovis for the little tip on that one. And after that, I need to get some work done regarding getting Isabella some more generalist help.
All right.
And I think you and me together, along with Benji, might be able to do just that.
Well, lead the way. Talking isn't going to get us anywhere right now.
No, it is not. So first, let's see if the seed that we planted last night has borne any fruit. And we'll be heading to the dead drop location.
Okay. You get there, and there is indeed a response to the note you left that tells you that he wants to meet you tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Well, that's
midnight.
fine. It means... Ooh, spooky. But that's fine. I'm guessing there's a location?
Yeah, he gives you a location close to the medical center, but you would know that the location he gives you is a little bit shady.
Then I will make sure to carry a weapon with me when we go ahead and do this tomorrow night, but that's good to know. Just keep that with me and destroy it later. Right, so Benji, that seed that we planted last night has borne some fruit. You and we'll have a meeting tomorrow.
Oh, excellent. What's tonight again?
Tonight is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday.
Yep. Cool.
Now, we need to get started on the next facet of this operation, which is going to be feeding Isabella the generalist that she needs to create a... I mean, I don't want to say a tip-top fighting force, but at the very least to supplement her own numbers. And I think the best way to do that is going to be to start scouting out those in the physical fitness industry that are looking for a little bit more. You would see, Velda, this is why I brought you along. I know you and I both have contacts in the modeling industry, and those two go together like peanut butter and chocolate.
I don't have that many contacts, but we'll see.
I think tonight is a party night. Tonight is a night that we go and walk amongst the beautiful people and see which of them are rotten on the inside.
A good number.
Oh yes, but rotten in just the right way that we can tempt them. Right. We'll get this. We'll get this upscaled and then get this show on the road, shall we? So, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my social media contacts to start, like, the things that I do know on social media, the people I have added and all of that, to see where I might find a party going on tonight. A higher end party, one where, you know, the beautiful people might go, those who hit the gym daily and things like that. Those who take good care of themselves, that or snort a lot of cocaine and binge and purge.
You would know that your friend Julia, when she has free time, not that she has a whole lot of it these days, would occasionally take part in some rather upscale parties, and that she's posted on her social media recently that she's sad that she can't go to one that's going on this week. She's kind of bummed out about that, but she kind of tags another friend that she's made through party channels, and this person has basically created a party to go to. So there's that. You don't know if it's kind of a ritzy place. You don't know if it's gonna have the kind of people you're looking for, but it's a start.
It's worth sussing out, I think. Hey, Velda, ready to strike your stuff?
Always.
And Benji, I know this isn't really your kind of scene, but I think I've got something here for you that might make you a little excited.
Oh?
You see, if it's not a ritzy party, upscale, fancy, it'll be a little grungy, if you know what I mean. And when you've got grungy parties, you've got grungy people. People who get a little handsy, if you know what I mean. People who could stand well to do with some broken hands, if they get a little too handsy.
You suggesting I play bodyguard?
I'm suggesting it's a little more aggressive than bodyguard.
She's suggesting you play boyfriend, Benji.
I suppose that's a better way to put it.
Okay. Right. Wait. Hold on. Are you asking me to just go start fights? Is this happening?
No.
Is this real?
No. Not start fights. But you know someone inevitably will. And when that happens, that inevitability happens.
Put it like this. We're going to go, and it's going to be fun, regardless of whether it's ritzy or grungy.
Someone's gonna put the wrong hand in the wrong place, and then you get to punch them, is what I'm saying.
It's fair. Alright.
Right.
I can... if I might... I'm wondering... I have this friend from La Medianoche, and it... possibly Isabella probably already hit him up, but... Benji goes ahead, pulls out his phone, and messages Dave. He's checking with him to see if Dave has any friends from his old biker days. If there's any guys who would be open to doing some bounty work or commissioning or anything. Bodyguard stuff.
He messages you back and says, not that are available tonight.
Oh. Not tonight, but he does have them.
Well, that'll also be good to look into to feed towards Isabella. Especially since Dave at the very least knows of Isabella and can make a case on her behalf, which is good. This passage's turning out to be a little easier than the first one. That's nice. Things are going a little smoothly. Now, we're gonna go suss out this party, see if it's something we need to ritz up, or if we're good as we are. And, we're gonna go check this party out.
Okay. And so, you make your way towards the party, and it's kind of in a place that's bordering on what you know to be Delgado's old little personal location and Randy's. And so it's kind of upscale, but it's butting up really dangerously against a territory that's no longer claimed at this point.
Yes, and I'm sure that the cam probably would have taken the first possible opportunity to gut that domain of every Anna kindred that resided in it. Not just Delgado, but everyone else.
Which makes this a perfect opportunity.
Gives us a chance to do a little recon as well. Given the circumstances, I think what we're dressed in should be fine. And Amber will go and park so that we can head inside.
Okay. And so you do. The music is fairly large. The music is nice. It's not very loud per se, as it is a party at a residence. It seems like a house party. Kind of a nice house party. This house is nice. It seems a little out of place, to be quite fair, because this is a nice house in the middle of kind of a middle-class area. And so,
I wonder who financed this.
You walk in, and there are, going past you, probably at least 30 people.
Alright. I'm going to be scanning the crowd for the jocks. Those who consider themselves to be large and in charge. I mean, aside Benji. We already know Benji's large and in charge.
There are a couple of people that several of you notice. Amber, you're looking around, and you do see someone that you may or may not have seen at La Medianoche before. Looks like a boxer, maybe? He's definitely got some well-toned upper body strength to him. And are any of you using Blush of Life?
I will.
Okay.
So will I.
Go ahead and rouse for it. Okay.
I will also.
Okay.
I just forgot.
Thankfully, bringing color and life to your pallid skin does not cost you. You're not hungry. It's not any more than it was. So, thankfully, getting it circulating doesn't cost anything.
I'm very thankful for that.
Aside from that person, you see that there's another gentleman who also looks like he is fairly well toned. That he has a drink in his hand. He actually looks like he just got out of a job and looks rather official. His clothing is rather nice, and he doesn't look official in the way that, you know, he's wearing a uniform of any kind, but he definitely stands very tall, very confident, and really just has a leadership air about him.
I noticed him, right?
All three of you are noticing these people.
Is this the same dude that I think it is?
Velda, you know that face. You absolutely know that face.
Oh, she ducking. you guys have noticed that Velda, as soon as her eyes land on that guy, she ducks behind Benji.
And Amber kind of looks back in concern.
What are you doing?
That's someone I know.
Who? What?
And she points towards Dixon.
Okay. What? Who is he to you? What do we need to be aware of?
He's an ex.
Christ.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, this certainly became interesting, didn't it?
I guess. I'm just.
Are you going to be able to play nice, Velda?
I can play nice, I just don't know whether he can.
Well, it's why we have Benji here. Right, Benji?
I'm really gonna get in a fight with someone's ex. With your
Are you
ex.
turning that? Are you turning down the opportunity to possibly punch someone in the face who deserves it, nonetheless?
I would personally rather not make a scene.
Velda, how
yeah.
loud are you being right now? Because if you're being...
She's saying this in a low voice.
Then I want you to make a composure... Oh, what do I call for? Composure and... subterfuge. Because you're trying to whisper. You're not necessarily trying to lie, but you're trying to whisper. Okay. Thankfully, he hasn't noticed yet.
I think I will just avoid him. If that's alright with you, Pear.
You know what?
Okay.
Sounds great. How about I get drinks?
Yes, that
Yeah.
sounds brilliant.
You go get drinks and we'll go and deal with other things. How does that sound, Velda?
Yes. Away from Dixon.
Velda, you start looking for a place to walk aside from where Dixon is, and you see another interesting individual at this particular party. Someone you do know from the modeling industry.
She takes pause and she's like, wait, Amber! And she points
Mhm.
towards Justice.
Okay, you have my attention.
We should go talk to him.
She could talk to him.
Have you ever met him?
Maybe in passing, but not officially.
He is absolutely wonderful. He's a freelancer.
A freelancer, huh? Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we should go talk to him. Let's go talk to him, Velda. I mean, considering you know him better, I think you should take the lead.
Fine. Just hope that Dixon doesn't show up. And she makes her way over to Justice.
Okay. And Benji, you were going to go look for drinks?
Yeah, there was a certain individual he noticed. Presumably?
Yes. This is definitely someone that you know from La Medianoche. Someone who's given a little bit of a thorn in your side for a little while. He seems to
You know
always... he seems to always have a mouth on him.
Probably.
He's a little belligerent sometimes when he's drinking.
Well, you know, he's honestly not the biggest thorn in Benji's side these days. How is my audio quality, by the way? Because I keep getting feedback.
Is that
An
through me
occasional
or...
buzzing, that's all I hear. It's very,
And it's
very
not through,
occasional.
Yeah, it's
and
not
it's not
super
through
bad.
your mic specs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So Benji, you're
So
going to go and walk up to this individual?
Yeah.
Okay.
Matthias.
Matthias, you've always sent it wrong.
He just smirks. Yeah, there's a point to that.
What do you want?
I'm just grabbing drinks, bro.
Yeah,
But I
me too.
really didn't think I'd see you here.
Well, you know, party's a party.
Parties and bars the only ones you frequent?
I mean, as often as you guys have kicked me out of La Medianoche, I figured you guys never want me to be there again, so here I fucking am.
Here you are indeed. How you been handling these days, huh? Fight still going?
Occasionally? I thought we don't talk about that shit.
I think of it as professionalism.
Okay. I guess. Why are you looking to square up?
No,
No,
if I'm gonna
that's a
be
shame.
honest, yeah. If I'm gonna be honest, I had to pull back from that gig for a bit.
What, you chicken shit?
Nah. Just got other shit going on. Family shit. Taking care of my people.
Right. Sounds like somebody who's retiring.
Bro, you wish. Maybe then you could actually get the spotlight for once.
I could take you in a heartbeat, my dude.
Nah, you couldn't. You really couldn't. But
Fine, we'll prove it in the ring.
maybe someday.
What's your point?
Nostalgia.
You've never been one for small talk. What do you want?
I'm curious. What's got you going these days? I don't see you at La Medianoche. I don't see you in any other parts of town other than this. Like, what the fuck is this?
A party.
We walked in. Didn't matter to anyone. That's weird.
Yeah. I really don't know what you're getting at, my dude.
It's not important.
Alright. Well, then let me get to my drinks. And I'll see you some other time, I guess. You ever want to throw down? Just let me know. I'll meet you at La Medianoche. And I'll beat the fucking shit out of you.
I hope you do. Benji just gets some fruit punch, vodka, whatever it is. Couple of cuppies, the red cuppies.
Solo cups.
And starts making his way back to Amber and Velda. It's running through his mind right now. With all this shit that's been going on, he's just been getting deeper and deeper. And it's weird. This is the first time he's seen Matthias in ages, he feels. It was so distant to him now. That experience, those experiences in that life, and now it's just like before it was all about the adrenaline and the rush, and now it's something way more carnal.
As you've gotten the drinks together and you go to turn around, there is someone else that you nearly run into as you're turning around. And she just looks at you. Benji!
Carmen!
I didn't expect to see you here.
Funny thing, I didn't expect to see me here either. Hi, how you been?
Busy. Busy.
Yeah? Are you still at school?
Yeah, school is finishing up fairly soon at the end of this semester, and I'll be graduated and everything with my nursing degree. But right now I'm doing my practicals, and I'm doing that at the Stone Oak Hospital. Just north.
Oh, damn, girl. Look at you.
Yeah.
Getting all built up in the world. Man,
Yeah,
you look good, too. You really look good.
Thank you.
I mean,
haven't had a lot of time for La Medianoche lately.
Nah.
Dr. Guerrera keeps me busy.
Nah, we've had some weirdies come on through there. It's better you keep your distance right now.
Right. What have you been up to?
Oh, me? Well, I've been around. I'm just trying to keep up with my crew, make sure family's fed and all of that. I've been doing some day work lately and some night work. A lot of jobs.
Family? Are you a baby daddy now?
No. No.
Oh, I was so worried.
Oh God, no. No, not at all.
Okay.
Very different situation. Hey, you want to go somewhere a little more quiet to talk? Just for a sec?
Sure. And she kind of leads you toward the back door that's kind of publicly open. Just that door's hanging open.
Benji looks at her hand, sees if she has anything to drink or anything like that.
She's got a drink in her hand. It's like half full.
Cool. He's just sitting there with the 2 solo cups.
You gonna drink both of those?
No. No, it's for a person that brought me here.
Well, introduce
Annie-
me.
Yeah. Um,
You've always been so weird about social stuff. Just introduce me. Who is she? Who is he?
she. Uh,
Ooh.
yeah, no, we've been rolling together for a hot second. She's absolutely lovely. I mean, not as lovely as you, but pretty.
Benji.
I'm bad at this.
I'm flattered. I'm really flattered. Well, introduce me. Come in. Where is she?
I mean, you've met her before, I think. Kind of. Yeah, you hear.
Yeah.
And Benji goes off to locate Amber.
Amber and Velda. While Benji is wooing the wonderful Carmen and blatantly trying to make small talk with Matthias, you two head your way towards Justice,
Yes.
a person that Velda knows quite well.
Justice, sweetheart, how you doing?
What's up, V?
Not a lot, not a lot. I saw you here and I thought, why not come and say hello?
Well, hello. And you are? He looks to Amber and reaches out a hand to shake.
And Amber would take that hand and shake it. Amber Dupree.
Dupree. I've heard of you.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Weren't you, Yeah. Ashley Sanderson's crew.
Yeah. Formerly.
Formerly.
Not
Decided to strike out on my
anymore.
own.
Well, welcome to freelance life. He burned you too.
Yeah, Ashley's a bit of a scumbag.
I think I could relate.
Burn you too? Did you used to work with Ashley?
Yeah, he was I don't know. He seemed really genuine at first, and then
Yeah, that's how he gets you. He seems genuine, and then
and his
bar
agency's
flips, the table
huge. I'm
flips him.
surprised you left him.
Yeah, his agency is huge, but the thing is that I can't stand to be around trash. And he
Oof.
kind of revealed himself to be trash.
I have heard he's been up to some very shady things recently.
Mm.
What's the tea?
Oh, you know, making deals with the underworld and things like that. Very strange to hear.
Yeah, that's strange indeed.
Actually, you've worked with him very recently, Amber. Have you heard anything like that?
Yeah, I have heard things of that nature. I mean, I was moving out of my apartment, and he decided to show up.
Ooh, stalkery.
You see his
Yeah.
eyes kind of go wide.
Yeah, he decided to show up as I was trying to move my stuff out. So, currently, there's a whole bunch of stuff that belongs to me still in an apartment that I can't get because he won't let me bring in moving men to get rid of it. Like my couch, my TV.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making do without it though because the fight's not really worth it. The less I have to be around that piece of human garbage, the better. Truly, he's
Damn.
shown himself to be nothing but disgusting, and so I wish to not have any association with him any longer.
I'll drink to that. And he kind of lifts his glass and a cheers and takes a big gulp of his drink.
Yep.
So what have you been up to recently, Justice?
You know, being freelance is hard. And I've
I
been
bet.
trying to network and trying to, give support to other San Antonio independent, models and everything like that. Trying to, taking gigs where I can get them.
Well, Justice, maybe you might be interested in a little proposition.
I'm listening.
You see, I can very much understand the need to get away from it all. And I mean, the couple of major town agencies in town. I mean, you've either got to deal with Ashley, or you have to deal with Maxine. And
I've heard some really
neither
good
of them
work
are-
from Maxine. Actually, Maxine Forrest.
she's a professional at what she does. But the thing is that as a person, gag.
Is that because she's a university teacher?
No, it's not really her profession. It's just she comes off as so hoity-toity, elitist, better than. It's this holier than thou attitude, and it's gross. But I have actually been thinking for a while. I was thinking this even when I was still employed by Ashley, that I would actually get my own agency off the ground here in San Antonio.
A startup.
Yeah,
That actually
But
sounds like a very good idea.
better than the established watering holes for work, so to say. Someone who does things a little bit differently. There's nothing set in stone yet, but do you think that's something that you might be interested in when the time comes?
Well, I don't have the capital to invest.
Oh, I'm not talking about investment, I'm simply talking about once I get the foundation built. Do you think
Better
that...
yet, even if you're not interested, do you know anyone else who might be?
That too.
I can certainly ask around. I mean, I know of a couple of other independent freelancers who might want a confirmed gig, but when do you plan on opening?
As soon as I'm able. Once I've got the foundation laid down and
It's like
everything
a
in
year,
its place.
5 years? What are we talking about?
I'll give it 2 to be safe. But if I can open before then, you'll be the first to hear.
That's if everybody
Still
isn't
looking
scooped up by somebody else.
Are
Well,
there
if that
propositions
happens...
flying around?
What, Velda?
Are there propositions flying around?
Not currently. I mean, Ashley Sanderson's always hiring, so. And Maxine
Always
does,
hiring.
and Forrest does a lot of hiring out of the university.
She's scooping up all the graduates. Just like her. I always knew she liked them young.
Well, yeah, because she's a fashion instructor.
They always go for the younger ones. Beauty fades over time.
It does. But
Unless you're a 30-something like me.
And you are fine. You always will be.
You flatter me.
Oh, you know it.
well, truth is the simplest form of flattery, after all.
I thought imitation was.
No, that's the sincerest form of flattery.
Oh, yeah, right.
But no, it is good to hear that the very least is some interest in this, because I'm looking to look at a breakaway in a big way,
Huh. Okay.
because things have been a little too stagnant for too long. Everyone having the choice of go to this place, go to this place, go to this place, or become a freelancer. We should have more options, you know?
And it's about then that Benji and Carmen are joining into the group.
Benji, welcome back.
Yes, Benji, welcome back.
Hi.
Oh,
Justice, this is Benji,
Pleasure to meet you.
and I don't know you. Oh, I love your hair.
Oh, thanks. My name's Carmen.
Nice to meet you, Carmen. I'm Velda.
Nice to meet you,
and it is a
Velda.
pleasure to see. And it is a pleasure to see you again, Carmen.
And you too,
Amber
Amber.
would give her a smile and a wink.
She kind of gives you a grin.
Yes, we were just talking to Justice here about some interesting business propositions regarding the industry that Velda, him and I all share. You see, it turns out that one of the major modeling agents in town is very much not as pleasant as we all thought that he was.
Bad employers are the worst, aren't they?
Yes. We were just sharing some stories about what happened because, unfortunately, this particular employer burned all poor Justice here, and he decided to cut me loose as well.
That's a shame.
Hmm.
I don't think I'm familiar with your
missing
work,
out.
though.
I'm a alternative model. I could show you if you'd like.
Maybe some other time.
If Carmen does sound a little flustered at that,
She is.
internally Amber is grinning.
She is
Internally
flustered at that.
Amber is...
Maybe
Totally
show off your
Amber
more
is doing-
creepy works.
Yes, more... Yes, the... less... raunchy stuff.
I think I would have used scandalous.
Oh... I mean, you could call it scandalous. I know some people certainly seem to think so.
She's kind of just kind of giggling and blushing a little bit.
And, Amber smiles to Benji.
So is
Benji.
this the girl that you've been eyeing, Benji?
Oh, they've been more than eyeing each other.
Oh.
Benji just takes a long gulp from the, the cup.
It tastes like
Oh,
ash
Benji.
going down.
Oh, Benji, you're so cute.
He is, isn't he?
Exceptionally cute. I am 100% in concurrence with that.
I think they call that fucking adorable. Justice just kind of
Yeah,
giggles.
Yeah, you wouldn't be wrong about that.
So, man, Justice is your name, right?
Yeah. Justice
Yeah,
Hill.
hi. Nice to meet you. My name's Benji. Yeah, holds out his hand for a firm shake.
And Justice gives you a handshake.
So what are you about? How do you know our friend Velda here?
Velda and I have worked together a couple of times. I'm an independent, so, you know.
He's an absolute pleasure to work with.
I know I'd like the pleasure of working with him sometime.
What's your fields?
I mostly am the model in gigs. Usually a photographer asks me if they would like me to do some shots for them, and I'd do it for money.
Nice. Well, seem like you take good care of yourself, bro. That's good. Keep it up.
Thanks.
So,
So,
people. You know, what was I going to say? I've completely lost it. Don't you hate when that happens?
Yes, you go to say something and then you completely lose your train of thought. I know, it's a real shame. Happens all the time.
Goldfish brain.
Velda, high or low?
Hi. Oh.
Something you said recently certainly caught an ear.
Uh-oh.
But yes, if you're interested in gathering people for an agency that Amber is planning, that would be fantastic. You perhaps should exchange numbers.
Oh, yeah,
We should.
And he goes to unlock his phone and opens up his contacts list and starts a new one up for you, Amber.
Yep, and Amber would give him her phone number, and the easiest way to get the other phone number is if he sends a text to her, she can just save the contact that way.
And that's what he does. And while he's writing up a text to send, there is another gentleman named Dixon Lopez that sidles up next to everyone in the group.
Ah, Dixon. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How you been?
Good, thank you. It's a pleasure to see you again.
It's a pleasure indeed. I didn't expect to see you here.
Yes, it was a spur of the moment decision.
Right. Who invited you?
That would be me.
And you are?
Amber Dupree. I'm a very good friend of Julia's.
I'm not sure I know... Julia?
Julia Astor?
Oh yeah, I think I've met her once. Yeah. She was gonna come, but decided against it.
Yeah, got laden down with coursework. It's a real shame.
Carmen kind of looks up. Oh, that's sad. She and I are in the same courses. I guess she was needing a study session.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I imagine your workload could be pretty busy, Carmen.
Yeah, it's intense.
Oh, I could imagine.
And Dixon pipes up and says, "Sorry, where are my manners? Agent Dixon Lopez." And he gives a Benji and Amber. He puts his hand out toward Benji and Amber for either of them to shake.
Yeah, Amber would shake his hand. Agent?
FBI.
What kind of agent? Oh my.
I'm not
In
on the clock,
in
don't
the
you?
Fed.
You don't have to worry about anything.
No, but in the Fed. Interesting. That's gotta be a very interesting work environment.
It can be at times.
He's very hardworking.
What do you specialize in? I mean, agent is such a wide term. You know, everything from cybercrimes to sniffing out drugs to terrorism and everything in between.
Anti-terrorist unit.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I didn't come here to talk about work, though.
No, I'm sure you probably get enough of that at work.
Oh, yeah. Plenty.
But no, I am a newly freelance model.
Oh. Congratulations.
Well, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, you know. Like, it's more freedom, but it's also no backing, and so, you know, you lose some, you get some, you lose some.
Well, pretty as you are, you'll probably find gigs without an issue.
I'm sure, but, you know, it's always better to have the backing there, if you can find it, and it's not a unpleasant endeavor. But while you're here, I've been hearing rumors through the grapevine about my old agent, Ashley Sanderson. Something that might pique your interest. I mean, I am sorry to bring up work again, but I've heard that he might be making some less than above board deals with the wrong kind of people. I don't know the validity of this. It might just be a rumor and speculation, but thought it would be something to drop in your ear.
Law enforcement can't act upon rumor. You've got to bring proof. But I'm not on the clock, so, you know.
If you want anything that I thought I would like.
I'm usually at the office during the day, so if you ever have something that you want to propose to me, then, you know, you're welcome to do so. My office is on the south side.
It'll most likely be through electronic communication. I have a nocturnal work schedule. A lot of photographers like shooting at night. Cooler air, more controllable light.
That makes a lot of
go
sense.
Get night shots. Yeah. So if I do get in contact with you, it'll be by electronic correspondence. But if I do find
anybody say it like that in a while.
Well, it is what it is. But you know, if I do find any veracity to these rumors, I'll let you know. I'm sure it'd be something that you would be rather interested in if it turned out to be true.
Sure, I guess.
But no, we were just discussing a little business venture that I had planned. Just getting a new modeling agency off the ground, considering the established ones in the city don't have a lot of love for us freelancers.
Well, I wish you luck in that.
Thank you.
So what have you been doing with yourself recently, Dixon?
Mostly work. Just, the daily grind, And he takes a sip of his drink.
The daily grind. I see. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing well.
Yeah.
So, Carmen.
Yes.
What is it that you study?
Medicine. I'm gonna be finishing up my nursing degree this semester.
Wow. Truly must be talented.
I don't know about talented. Probably average.
Or smart. I could never do that.
Neither could I.
That's such a lie. I'm sure you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
Not anything, but some things. Certainly not nursing. I wouldn't be able to bring myself to deal with all that blood and gore and...
You get used to it after a while. After
Yeah,
a while, it doesn't
I
start to
would.
affect you.
I suppose you would, but even then...
It's the entry barrier.
You're squeamish. That's fine. There's plenty of squeamish nurses.
I think the thing that throws me off the most is the idea of cleaning up somebody's leavings.
I don't know that I've heard it ever put like that before. But I suppose
It's the most polite way I could think of describing it.
that's fair.
But
Yes, a bedpan is far from the most pleasant thing to have to clean.
I wish you so much luck in your endeavors.
I appreciate it.
Okay. I'm out of character. I'm just thinking of what to do.
I'm just imagining them all standing there just awkwardly silent.
Yes. Yes.
Dixon kind of looks to you, Velda, and says, "Do you want to get some fresh air?"
Oh.
And he kind of walks out the door with you, out the back door.
And she would follow. She casts Amber a look like, help me.
Amber will be like, don't worry, if it gets bad, I'll help you. Basically, like, with a look, not actually saying that.
So
What can I do for you?
You first.
I was just wondering what it was you wanted to talk about.
Well, I hadn't seen you in a while, and so, you know...
I've been busy.
Busy?
Yes.
I mean... You're... doing what these days?
Modeling, like I always have.
You always... Well, I guess it's none of my business.
Yeah, I always did modeling. But I don't suppose you ever paid attention to that.
That's unfair.
Is it?
Velda, you were my life.
Was I really?
Yeah. You were everything to me. And then the day I proposed to you, you go, "Nah, okay, thanks, bye." And you ghosted me after that. What the-
harsh.
And then I see you here today?
Yeah? Funny how things work.
I thought you were dead or something.
No, just busy. Dealing with my own things.
And I get that.
Living life.
You never told me why. And
Told you why what?
why you couldn't say yes.
Because I wasn't ready to.
I respect that. Look, I'm not asking for us to get back together. I've just missed you. And, you know, for what it's worth, I'm not a piece of shit. Whatever you've got drummed up in your head about me, it's not true.
I don't have anything drummed up in my head about you.
Okay.
It's strange coming here and seeing you. It's been quite some time.
Yeah, it's...
Why did you want to marry me?
You were the love of my life.
Yes, but why?
Doesn't that make it... Isn't that explanation enough? I love you. I wanted to start a family with you. I mean, we didn't have to start a family. You never really said whether or not you wanted to have kids. And, you know, I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. And I thought that you did too.
The rest of our lives is a very long time.
I mean, yeah, some marriages end in divorce. But, I don't know. I thought that you felt the same way. And
You thought wrong.
I know it's selfish of me to want to get closure. But you haven't answered my question.
Frankly, I can't.
You can't.
No.
Is it because you're married to somebody else in another state? You could always file for divorce or some shit.
Dixon, have a think about it. Am I really one to get married?
We were living together. I thought you were. I guess
Living
not.
together is one thing. Marriage is something completely different.
How? It's just a piece of paper.
Is it?
Legally?
It's a commitment, Dixon.
Right. And you're non-committal.
Mm-hmm.
You see that his head slumps a little bit.
Oh, don't look like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't deserve you. And you didn't deserve what I did to you.
Why'd you do it?
Because I couldn't see any other way.
It's really fucked up.
I am fucked up. I always told you I was fucked up.
And yet I fell in love with you
Oh.
anyway.
And yet you did. That wasn't my mistake. That was yours.
Even now, I can't help but just be melting in your presence. And I don't get it.
Oh, what can I say? I'm charismatic.
And a fucking liar.
As we head outside to the car, I would like to check the car over with Sense the Unseen.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. You look it over. Something about your phone. Looks a little weird.
I'm gonna have a look at the phone, kind of study it more closely.
Something faint. You don't know what it is.
Where is it on the phone? Is it like under the cover or?
It's a faint little thing under the cover. Under the battery, it seems.
I'm gonna pop the cover off. Like, turn off the phone, pop the cover off, pop the back off, and pop out the battery.
There's a tiny little metal film that you see.
I'm gonna take out that metal film.
Something wrong, Amber?
This isn't meant to be here.
What is it?
I'd
There's
like
a
to
faint
examine
little
this film.
It's a faint little signature. It's just a piece of metal.
It's just a piece of metal that shouldn't be there. Does it look like it has, like, circuitry in the film?
Mm-mm.
Is there, like, a PCB on the inside?
Nope.
Or is it marked with anything?
Nothing.
And yet it's giving off a signature.
Can I have a
Little
look?
unseen tiny aura.
Yeah.
Velda holds
I'll
a hand
hand
out
it-
for it.
And she'd hand it to Velda.
I would like to use Sense the Unseen to look it over.
Go ahead and roll it. You don't see it.
It was very faint.
And Benji,
Very,
you
very
don't see it
faint.
either. She might be making it up.
I'm going to close my eyes and focus on the object and see if I can't pick anything up with premonition.
Okay, go ahead and roll premonition and then your rouse. You don't get hungrier as a result, so you close your eyes and let your mind wander about this little thing, this little piece of film in the phone. And your mind goes to a familiar face. Beware the dark.
Which face is it?
An old man draped in shadow.
Oh, fuck. Velda's going to open her eyes. She's going to say, John.
John, how did... You tracked me into my P.O. box when I picked it up.
You
I
must
think
have.
I think he's been tracking me. And Amber's gonna take this little piece of film.
Hold on. Is that something a La Sombra can do?
That would be a wits occult.
I will roll that.
Anyone who wants to can roll a wits occult if you said this out loud.
Yeah, she did.
I don't have a cult, so no.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Because Benji was once part of the Sabbat, would
Mhm.
he have any advantage on that roll?
I'll give you a +1.
Alright, I'll roll it.
Especially since John gave you the heebie-jeebies.
John gave me the heebie-jeebies. And I'm after him. So...
Ooh, nice.
Benji, for some reason, you're not sure if it's something from your past or if it's something that just instinctually you know. But under normal circumstances, no.
No.
Most of the low-level guys that you ran with that were La Sombra didn't know how to do that.
That doesn't mean he doesn't have friends. Doesn't mean he doesn't have friends who could do that kind of thing. Because remember, he was buddy-buddy with Hugh.
That's true. Who would have the capability of marking something like this?
Each of you with your occult roll, you don't know.
That's something for Urien.
I feel like this is something that should be definitely brought to his attention.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have one idea, though, about what it is. I can't see it in question, what you're talking about, but maybe we could use this. I'm not sure what they're looking for.
Maybe we could. Maybe we could use it to set a trap.
One of us should go find Urien, talk about it, as far as this thing goes. I can take it.
Benji, you were also wanting to talk to Baron Batista.
That's right, I can't take it.
Give it to me. I'll take it to Urien.
Yeah, I'll drop you off at a place where you can go and do that. If you would like, I could call Urien to set up a meeting place somewhere neutral, away from sensitive areas.
Ideal.
Well, we don't want to take it to anywhere unknown. I would think to take it... The best place would be to take it to maybe Lush, since John already knows that we frequent there. Or the meeting house.
Lush.
Somewhere he knows that we frequent as to not trig him off.
Lush it'll be then. There's a lot of people there. It's gonna be harder to cause a ruckus.
Yes.
I will make the call to Urien.
Please do.
And Amber will... Asides the film, which she gives to Velda, she'll put the phone back together quickly, power it on, and give Carlos a call, because Carlos is basically the easiest way to get in contact with Urien via technological means.
Urien, Carlos hands you the phone saying that Amber's on the line.
Keep telling you, girls, your life gets far more complicated with these infernal machines. Good evening, Amber.
Good evening, Baron Doyle. I am doing... Where... I must ask, are you available at the moment? We've found something that's rather concerning. Something that I think requires your expertise on the occult.
Where do you need me to be?
Lush. I'm gonna be taking Benji somewhere, so I will be handing it off to Velda, who will meet you there.
Glorious. We will have a discussion over your indiscretions shortly. He hangs up the phone.
And Amber just kind of looks at it. That was pleasant. And she'd pocket the phone. Yeah.
So Amber and Velda are headed off to Lush, and Benji is off to go talk to Baron Batista.
Yep. I'll take Benji to the Tower of the Americas after dropping Velda off at Lush with the film.
Are you both going to the Tower of Americas, or is it just Benji?
I mean, I can take. I mean, I could either take you there, or you can go on your own. It's up to you. But
Benji could probably manage on his own. It's not really a big discussion. Unless you have something you want to ask.
no, no. I'll. If you want to make your way there on your own, I'll stay here with Velda because I'm sure that he's probably going to want some explanation from me about this.
Alrighty.
All right. And we're going to take a quick break and be back shortly, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 2 of season 3 of San Antonio by Night. We rejoin Amber, Benji, and Velda as they're in their vehicle, and Amber starts muttering to herself and then very loudly proclaiming to herself obscenities in French.
You alright there?
I now know what Urien meant.
What Urien meant?
Yeah, talking about my indiscretions. I fucking blabbed on the phone, didn't I?
Oh,
like
yeah.
an idiot.
Occult? Baron? What?
Yeah, no, I straight up blanked. I mean, a cult shouldn't pull that much attention considering, you know, new age magic-y bullshit.
It's
But
the combination.
yeah, it's the combination. I should have kept my mouth shut. And now he's gonna have my ass for this. Well, at least I know what I'm walking into, right?
I suppose.
Sure.
I have a
So,
request
Go ahead.
concerning what happened back at the party, Amber.
Yeah? What's up?
Don't pull justice into any of this kindred business.
Oh no.
Let him
No,
stay
no.
here.
His role to play in all this is in my own personal ambitions. Which
Good.
is to open a modeling agency.
Good. I would hate to see him get tangled up in all of this mess.
No, I don't have any plans to tangle him up in this mess.
The other one, though... I would suggest keeping Dixon at an arm's length. He is very clever.
Yeah.
And he also seems very attached.
Yes.
He said he was FBI.
Yes.
Does that
Yes.
mean we're being trailed?
I highly doubt it. Unless he's turned stalker.
Would he?
Well, the way we parted, I think he more just wanted to get the hell out.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just hope he doesn't.
A bigger question about that.
Mm-hmm.
If that does become a problem, are you
I'll
prepared?
take care of it.
Alright.
He is,
Okay.
after all, my problem.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Alright. Let's get us to Lush. And to Lush we would go.
You kind of zip to Sanctuary Domain, and Benji, you pick up your own vehicle to head towards downtown, while the girls make their way to Club Lush. Which Urien is sitting in rather pensively. Seems he arrived first from wherever he was.
Baron Doyle. I'm assuming they're in an area that's closed
Fairly-
off from the public.
Closed off, secluded.
Yeah.
Yep.
Baron Doyle.
Yes, Baron Doyle.
Well, I do appreciate the formality. Amber, I would appreciate it if you did not do it on a cellular device.
I know I realized my mistake after I had made it, and I apologize profusely for that. It won't happen again.
Speaking. Sorry.
It's at this point, he's going to snap his fingers. Amber, would you be able to roll a stamina plus composure, please?
Yeah, I can roll one of those. Oh, dicks.
Be glad it wasn't crit.
That is 6 successes to your 1, and you can't win that fight. So, Amber, your hunger increases by 1, and you start bleeding profusely from every orifice right now.
No. I'm only a hunger 3.
No,
Not yet, I don't.
This is as a result of what you're not sure what it was. Urien just snapped his fingers, and you're starting to bleed from your nose and ears.
Like she goes to touch her head to make sure that it's not the stigmata, and it's not the stigmata, and she's like, and she looks up at him. Kind of confused as that voice gets louder in her head. Yeah.
I am presuming that I do not have to worry about further indiscretions from here on out.
Yeah. No. Message received.
You may be beautiful, Amber, to everyone who looks upon you, and I myself would admire such beauties. But understand that you are a corpse to me. I said that before, and I hold you in the same regard. I cannot afford to end up showing favoritism, especially in these nights.
Yep, no. I understand. Message received.
Be glad that that did not happen in a more public arena.
Yeah.
Now that the formalities are done, he reaches into his desk and throws a towel at Amber.
She would catch it and wipe herself off.
Since we were speaking of cellular devices, seems John has been making use of them. And she puts the little filament on the table in front of Urien.
I proceed to end up using Sense the Unseen.
Go ahead and roll it.
Would I have any bonuses now that it's been pretty much pointed out to me?
I'll give you a +1. Since they're pointing it out to you. And you look at the little filament, and it has a faint aura to it. A faint blood magic aura. Would normally go undetected to the untrained eye.
I picked it up as we were leaving a party. The aura.
Where was it?
Underneath the battery. I
Where
pulled
has
my phone apart immediately.
Where has that phone been this entire time?
At a party. Just a house party.
I'm assuming you didn't pick it up there.
No, I think it was in I sent it to a PO box, and as soon as it arrived, I went to pick it up.
Every place you've been with that phone is now known to John or whoever the hell else is at the end.
So you know what this is, Velda.
I can only assume it's some kind of tracking.
I haven't been anywhere sensitive, so...
I suppose we can be grateful for small favors.
I'm glad I spotted it before I did end up going somewhere sensitive. I do have a rather important meeting tomorrow.
How much time is left in the evening?
It's probably about midnight now.
Which meeting is this?
To meet with one Troy Bennett regarding the people problem on Clovis's end.
Will this be a secluded meeting?
It is at a facility in the shadier part of town, and I imagine, yes, it would be quite secluded.
Good. He slides it back to you. Place it back in your phone. Go to your meeting.
And Amber would actually do that in front of Urien so that he knows that it's done. It going back into the spot that she found it in under the battery compartment in the phone, and battery back in, case back on, a backplate back on, case back on.
What you have there is a waste. It is a matter of trying to find a particular kindred. Where is this meeting being held?
And she would tell Urien the location of the meeting.
Which is close to the UT Medicine Hospital, but in a shadier part of the domain.
Good. What are you doing this evening, Velda?
I didn't have any particular plans.
Good. I'm going to need you. I'm also going to end up needing to getting a hold of Thin Bloods. Carlos might have his work cut out for him. You are still in talks with Batista, yes?
Me? Yes.
I need King. Immediately. Better no expense.
I think Benji was on his way to try
Do
and
not
get an
use that
appointment.
phone for any calls. Was that the call
No.
that you... Was that the phone that you ended up calling me upon?
It was. If need be, I will destroy it.
Too late
After
now.
the filament was removed.
That
Yeah, the
means
film wasn't in it.
absolutely nothing. They are aware of the phone's existence.
I see.
The hope was that if you used a different phone, they would not know what was said upon it. If they were listening, because they know exactly what phone to listen to, they would be aware that I am being called in for a piece of knowledge. Now, perhaps they are hoping that I have not seen it. I will endeavor to try. Velda,
Yes.
I need you to let it slip. He writes down an address, and this is going to be an address. This is going to be an address that is going to be very close. Now, if I recall, I know the location where the De La Rosa hangs out, right?
Yeah, you met him in a place fairly close to the border, I believe, between your domain, your whole domain, and Batista's domain. Kind of close to the downtown area.
Okay.
But you get the sense that that he has multiple of these.
Yes, most certainly. I need you to inform Yes, I'll need you to inform Carlotta that right now there is a meeting going on. There will be requirements thereafter. If that I will need Carlotta for. So she best prepare herself and be ready tomorrow with her Sunday best, depending on how Ember does. Be sure to let it slip where the Ember is heading.
Of course.
You will end up going to this location. This is close enough that particular ears will hear. But I want it to be clear that this is intently only between you and Carlotta. Best of luck, but I very much doubt it will hold. That is the time. Amber, this meeting is soon, yes?
Yes, tomorrow midnight.
Good. I need you to prepare everything. That phone, I wish it to be kept in a nearby location. I will discuss with a few others to end up making sure that the phone is not disturbed and you are not attacked during your day sleep. If that was the case, then perhaps they are looking for a more opportune time. If so, though, they would know exactly where your haven is. We need to know what they know. This is an intricate web, one that is easily broken at the first slip. Do you understand your responsibilities?
I do.
You will retrieve the phone after you have woken tomorrow. You will end up going towards that meeting. They will know you were there, one way or another. I want to see how impulsive this Mr. Bell truly is.
Understood.
Velda, in the meantime, get a hold of Benji and express that I am looking to end up asking for Fisk's services by Baron Batista. Since he's on the way anyway, it might be of use.
Of course.
Is there anything else I can do for you? Please.
No, that is currently all that I had.
No, Ember. Do clean yourself up and get something to eat. You must end up being radiant tomorrow after all. Spotlight's on you.
Of course. And I just need to think about where to put the phone. Just as a question out of character, by somewhere nearby, Derek, did Urien mean like here, like somewhere in the club, or nearby as in just nearby?
As in somewhere in the domain that one of the thin bloods that can handle sunlight can keep an eye on its location.
Okay.
I was going to explain the full plan to CoffeeCat, but end up keeping you in the dark, seeing what you guys can do.
Yeah, no. I just needed a clarification, because you said somewhere nearby, somewhere that they can keep an eye on, so... Actually... Yeah, I think
Sorry,
I
I
know where to
missed that last piece because I was being spoken to by my grand.
I was just asking about like where to drop the phone, and that I need to clean up and get something to eat, which is kind of important. But no, I think I know where I might put the phone.
Okay. Where do you?
I'm thinking that I might put the phone in probably a very like a secluded dead drop location. I'm sure there's somewhere around where I can slide the phone in and no one would know that it's there unless they were specifically told that it was there.
May
Or they
I
were
raise
tracking it.
of interest? If Amber places this phone somewhere unusual that it wouldn't normally go, would that not give away that it's known?
How would they know what is unusual?
Well, if they know where her haven is,
Would
and
they
it
have
doesn't
any
end up there
reason
where
to
she's
know?
supposed to sleep. Pardon?
Would they have any reason to know?
Well, if she's been carrying this phone with her all over the place, then it would have visited the haven during the day.
I heard the P.O. box.
It's
When did
where
you pick this phone up?
it was at the start of the week
It
gap.
was Monday. Yeah.
But
Oh.
she
you've
hasn't
been
she
carrying
hasn't
the phone.
actually as far as that goes though, she hasn't the only time she's been at the haven once since then.
So
I
you've
can't
been
take
carrying...
back an action. No one's clarified. I was led to believe this was taken at the start of the day.
No.
So
Um,
you've been carrying this phone around for a week.
Yes, I haven't been back to my haven since I moved in. However, I've been
So
too busy dealing with other stuff.
where have you been taking it over that week? Where have you been sleeping?
Amber's big thing is she probably would have been at the meeting house.
Sleeping at the meeting house?
Yeah, because she's currently getting the thing furnished, which would take a little while considering everything else that she's got going on.
Okay.
Well, then I would say that would be the place to put it.
I wasn't
So
paying attention
it'll
to
be
you
a
were sleeping at your haven, but
No, I thought I had said otherwise. If I hadn't, I apologize. But unfortunately, with as busy as Amber is, furnishing will take a little bit, especially now with her decreased resources and everything as well. She's got to be buying stuff a little slower. But yeah, it'll get dropped at the meeting house.
Although, frankly, the meeting house, I wouldn't recommend sleeping there at this point. You do realize it is compromised.
Yeah, no. Amber turns to Velda and goes, "Yeah, if I drop the phone there, I'm gonna go somewhere else to rest."
Well, I mean, the meeting house has been compromised ever since John joined.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing
So,
is that
for all that time,
it would be stupid to launch an attack there. However, because it would give away too much information.
would it?
Yes.
What information would it give away?
Well, it would give away the fact that they knew that I was there to begin with.
Sorry, that's very funny.
Not only that, it would also give away that they had a way of knowing that I was there. Because it's not like I'm telling people where I'm going as far as that's concerned.
Oh, Amber.
But no, the plan now after this meeting will be to drop the phone at the meeting house, go and get something to eat, and then go to the haven. go to Personal Haven to freshen up and rest, because it's probably going to take a little while to get something to eat.
All right then.
Did that come through?
Mhm.
Or... Okay, cool. It's just silent, that's all.
Yeah, Urien has nothing to say. He's just kind of staring at you two.
So, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and drop this phone and get myself something to eat. She's cleaned
Thank you.
herself. She's cleaned herself up enough to be somewhat presentable in public now.
Thank you very much for your time, Baron Doyle.
Yes, thank you.
Ember, head off. Velda, stay for a moment, please.
Yep. And Amber will do as she is told and head off.
Amber leaves, leaving Urien and Velda in the office.
What can I do for you?
I would know your mind of the situation.
What part of it?
Your assessment, particularly of that of Amber. She seems flighty, distracted, unable to end up remaining coherent in her own thoughts or her own mind. Has been lapsing of judgment as of late, and you have witnessed it now twice.
Yes, it's concerning. My question is, why is she lapsing? And she's lapsing in such ways that could get her or in deeper than they could get themselves out.
I fear this is the result of a poor sire. To understand, Amber has been little more than a showpiece, point of bragging rights. Truth of the matter is while she may end up knowing how to be flighty and garner the attention that she does covet, she's never learned to wield it. I also fear that she wants to prove herself more, for she's willing to learn to be more. More importantly, I feel like her thoughts are unfortunately muddled. Perhaps I am asking too much, kindred.
Why would you think that you are... Honestly, where Amber is concerned, I think she needs to get her head on straight. I think she's concerned, I think she's worried, and I think she's scared. But I think we all are.
That may be the case. Unfortunately, I cannot end up taking that risk. I cannot end up sparing the rod at this point for anyone. I cannot end up spoiling the child further. And I do not have time to end up teaching them everything from scratch. And I made the unfortunate assumption that because she was the only one with a sire who was still active in their lives, that they might eventually take the time to teach them.
So, how do we fix it?
At this point, we cannot. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is work with the nature of what is.
Understandably.
But I would know your mind on it first, before I go further.
I don't think removing weight from is going to help. She needs to be trusted. Because if she's not trusted, it makes her a risk. She is fury,
That
fusion.
is involved. And
Pardon?
respect is something that is crafted. It is something that is earned. At this point, the road that Ember takes is not one that crafts such things.
No, it's not. But sometimes when you give a little, you get a little.
I gave much more than that earlier. And it
Yes.
has fostered something worse. Do you think I was too harsh in my punishment, Velda?
No. No,
You understand
maybe a
it's-
little. Sometimes harm and pain gets results. And sometimes honeyed words work better.
That I have tried.
Yes.
And I am not getting anywhere with Ember. Now she does not end up adhering to even the most rudimentary of masquerades. I am not of the age that you two are. You basically use cell phones. I would not. You mock me at almost every turn for it, and I'm sure you've had some interesting discussions when I am miles away and the phones are closed. And yet, for the exact reason that happened right now, I do not carry.
Indeed. Perhaps.
When this is over, I intend to end up going after her sire directly. No more games. No more petty small pieces. From that point on, I want it very clear who it is that she is under. It will take some time. She will come to hate me for it, as everyone will. She can hate me all she wants, so long as it ends up making the kindred worthy of the name, and becomes a benefit to the whole of this beautiful city.
I hope it doesn't go that far that she hates you.
That's what she is. There is no love in that heart, Velda. Not even for self. If you look at her actions, you will see it as plain as day. Pray it does not burn you just as day would.
Something of interest that she did mention tonight. Perhaps it will interest you. Seems when she went to move her haven, her sire did show up. Has she mentioned that to you?
I don't believe she did.
Yes, apparently he showed up and refused to let her take her belongings. She is completely cut off. I found out from an old friend of mine, that Ashley has a habit of doing this to people, cutting them off. Not so much showing up at their homes, but cutting them. Perhaps this is something you can use.
You believe to end up using the carrot over the stick.
Why not?
When were you embraced, Velda?
About 5 years ago now, I believe. Time gets muddled. Why do you ask?
If you have the opportunity, might I suggest when you have nothing better to do, nothing planned, nothing pressing, come to Lush. Just speak with its people.
Of course.
He kind of just eyeballs you for a moment. Velda, I have seen this sort of behavior before. And the sad truth of it is that I have not seen yet a single kindred who has been long-lived, who has been as distant as what I see in front. Now either this is one amazing disguise, to which I salute you and your abilities, or perhaps I should worry that you would fall so quickly to become Drogir. Perhaps this line of work is also not suited for you. Did your sire ever mention Drogir?
I don't know what that is.
You have been warned east, of course, yes?
Yes.
You are aware that the beast slowly becomes more and more prevalent until the person is no longer there. Just the beast.
Yes.
Drogir is what you have when there is only beast in your body. Because what's left of you has already been consumed.
I see.
Because you are already thinking as an animal. Carrot. Stick.
Is there another way I should be thinking?
That's for you to find. But I find, personally, spending time amongst, well, my herd, or spending time with a contact or a beloved friend, one to help recenter yourself in your true priorities. Well, I think it'd be best to find yourself. This is a kindness I do not extend frequently, Velda. But you have earned that kindness, at least for now. I would prefer to have you in the city for quite a few decades. At least for now.
I take that as a compliment. I'm not going to lie, it hasn't been easy, but I will take these words to heart.
Our war against the Camarilla and ourselves. And I think as we beat back the Camarilla, well, we'll have lost ourselves in the process. I've seen that enough to last me a lifetime.
Well, If there's nothing else, I shall get on these jobs that you've asked of me.
Let us hope that some degree of luck will be on our side. If it is, we'll be short one more Camarilla.
I'll have my fingers and toes crossed.
I would rather you have your fangs and stakes ready.
Well, that too.
And with that, I think we'll leave Velda and Urien for the time being. And catch back up with Benji. You got yourself a little better prepared to attend the tower restaurant, and when you climb the long elevator to the top of the building, Jaden is there to greet you and says, "Ah, Mr. Cortez.
Well met.
What a surprise."
Yeah. How have you been?
I am quite fine. Are you here to see Miss Batista?
It's correct.
Right this way. And he leads you towards the back of the restaurant where the kitchen is, and through the kitchen and into the hallway where you see a very beautiful banner displayed on the wall, and he leads you down that hallway towards an office and gives a knock on the door. The woman you hear on the other side says to come in, and you see that Baron Batista has a bit of paperwork in front of her that she's just kind of scribbling on, and then hands some of that paperwork to Jaden and says, "Be a dear and take care of that, please." And he takes it and closes the door and leaves the two of you to speak.
Batista, thank you for granting me some of your time this evening. Goes for a handshake
And she shakes your hand and gestures for you to sit.
does so.
What can I do for you? This is unexpected.
Yeah. Been on different, I'm certain. I hope everything's been well since our last visit.
It's been busy. Very, very busy.
I'll make the time short. Lately I've been working on street level to examine how to best defend against the enemies we're facing. Baron Urien has mobilized us to the best of his abilities. But tonight, what I'm seeking is if I could pick your brain. I respect your knowledge of the city as coordinating leader, and I'm hoping you can enlighten me on some information. For as long as I've been here, as a kindred, I never actually took the time to learn my city's history. Kindred history. I value your input above others on the subject. I get the feeling you've been here for a long time.
I have been here for a long time, but I'm not the oldest.
I see. Who would you say is?
De La Rosa of the Nosferatu, or Jameson.
That's interesting.
It's rumored that both of them were here in the 1800s. Probably longer than that.
Wow. Yeah, doubt they can really beat this view, though.
No, not at all. I certainly do have the best view of the city. Which reminds me, Mr. Cortez.
Hmm?
You were aware that the airport was my domain, were you not?
I was.
And you and Mr. Bell came onto my domain.
There were important matters, Baptista. I acknowledge I should have seen you, received your consent before entering.
You were trespassing. You and Mr. Bell made it very clear to be seen.
This is correct.
What happened to Dren Shehi?
Bell happened.
Bell happened.
I'll have full transparency with you at this point. The Camarilla, they're infiltrating us. Bell was my responsibility, and I acknowledge this. He was to be my responsibility. And I failed that. When I come to you now, I'm trying to hunt John Bell down. I'm trying to make retribution. He's wronged me, my coterie. He betrayed us.